about Vienna is that it's so small, but there are different areas for different kinds of shopping.
Maria Hilferstrasse is the main shopping drag in Vienna. It's the place to come if you're after cheap high street goods. This is where you're likely to find the locals doing their shopping. In stark contrast, the streets nearby the Naschmarkt are home to modern art galleries, funky florists and 20th century furniture. Dorotheagasse and the surrounding is where to find actual antiques. The streets in this area are packed with small selling treasures from the past.
Austria was ruled by the Habsburgs for 640 years, right up until 1918. They lived here at the Hofburg Palace and loved expensive things. In fact, the area around the palace became the shopping area for all the kings and queens of Europe. If it's good enough for them, I think it's good enough for me.
Look out for shops that bear the symbol K&K, which stands for König and Kaiser, meaning king and emperor. These shops were where the Imperial Habsburgs spent their shillings, and some date back to the 17th century.
When it came to decorating the royal palaces with chandeliers, crystal and glass, there's only one place that would do.
Loebmeyer has been creating crystal masterpieces since 1828. Styles range from the classic to the more avant-garde. Today their creations can be found in the Kremlin and the Bolshoi in Moscow, the Metropolitan Opera in New York and Arnold Schwarzenegger's house.
Chandeliers are your thing, then this little baby will set you back a mere 20,000 euros. But it is all hand-cut glass, a classic Art Deco design by Joseph Hoffman, and it will probably last you a few lifetimes.
Ludwig Reiter is one of the top quality cobblers in the world. He started making shoes for the Imperial dynasty in 1885, and his family have continued to design shoes for the elite ever since then. Shoes are all hand-stitched using the finest class of leathers.
Don't think old has to mean old-fashioned. These trainers were originally worn by the Austrian army back in the last century and now come in a range of different colours. They're so funky that Wallpaper magazine recently voted them as one of the 20 things you can't live without. Together with a fine selection of shoes, Ludwig Reiter also does a fine line of accessories. This bag in orange and olive green has caught my eye.
One of the most impressive retailers to royalty has to be Kir, who was appointed personal jeweller to the Austrian Emperor in 1849. A handful of skilled technicians work in a tiny room above the shop, fashioning designs ranging from crown jewels for the kings and queens of Europe to engagement rings for Hollywood celebrities. Although the designs are modern, all the jewellery is painstakingly crafted by hand and using techniques that have not changed since the days of the Empire. The business is now run by the 6th generation of Kir, and Christoph showed me some of their vintage creations.
Here, this is the piece I like most. It's a beautiful diamond tiara.
Oh wow!
That is really beautiful.
Early 19th century, so you should put it on.
Yeah, I think so.
It's very well to your hair.
Thank you.
What I love is this floral design. Very few people who can still do that.
This is the first time I've been this close to so many diamonds. So what else do you have in your Pandora's box?
Here I have something very nice, a little bit later. It's towards the end of the 19th century. It's diamonds and Ceylon sapphires. You want to put it on as well?
Yeah, I also want to put this on. Definitely. Now in America they call this the bling bling.
The bling bling?
Yes.
Because it blinks?
Because it blings. You see? And right now I'm blinging. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Show you something else in
Show
diamond.
me some more diamonds, Christophe.
This is what we call collier de chien.
Dog chain.
Yes, but it was not
Obviously.
a dog chain for an eccentric woman. It was to be worn around the neck, close to the neck.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to try that.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
You see?
Amazing.
Isn't that wonderful?
It fits you perfectly.
I know.
It's like made for you.
I was meant to come here. This brooch actually has a very special history, doesn't it?
Yes, an amazing history. It was just 2 years ago. Somebody of a noble Austrian family came to me and offered the piece to me. And he told me that this piece was dug in the ground in an eastern country for more than 50 years. Because his grandfather had to leave the country after the war when the Russian troops would come. They know they would have to leave the country.
So he had to hide this piece.
So he had to hide it. He dug it under a tree and he told him when the war is over, remember under this tree on the hill, and there's a cedar tree, there will be a treasure, look for it.
That's
and
amazing.
So now after the fall of the Iron Curtain, he and his son would go there with a metal detector and they really found a metal box full of jewelry. Amazing. You're really somebody who should wear diamonds, a lot of diamonds.
I feel very aristocratic.
Yes.
Estelle Blingham.
Right.
That's what you can call me, Princess Blingham.
Princess Blingham.
Yes.
Okay, Princess,
Yes.
it was a pleasure talking to you and seeing all the beautiful jewelry.
Now you can price up my pieces and tell me how much I owe you.
Well, I would have to reckon. I would say maybe 400,000 euros, something like this.
400,000 euros. Right. Today, I won't be purchasing anything.
If the shops that serve the kings and queens of the Austrian Empire are a little bit out of your price range, do not despair. There are plenty of souvenirs to buy in Vienna to suit every wallet. Now, we all know what it's like when you go away, the pressure from family and friends to bring them something nice back. But when in Vienna, the city of music, what would be more appropriate than something with Mozart on it? Take your pick from
Mozart plates, Mozart chocolates, Mozart mouse mat, Mozart tie, Mozart snowstorm, Mozart liqueur, Mozart baseball cap,